Hello everyone, time for a live stream. How are we all? I'm just cutting the excess nonsense off my prints for the second Enduro. I've got a full stack of parts ready to go on the second one after I do the test run. Unfortunately, how you got to print some of this stuff, you've got to put a brim around it and that sort of nonsense so it actually sticks to the bed. So while we wait for some of you guys to rock up, I'm just going to trim the extra fat off, so to speak. So we've got Wayne with us, we've got some others with us. Feel free to say hello. So a chin wag with Wayne about the weather, which has been rather crappy lately. But there's not much you can do about that. Definitely. If you've got an Enduro and you want any of the parts that I've designed, they're all going to be on my Shapeways store, the BCRC Shapeways store. So if you go to Shapeways and search BCRC, you should find pretty much everything I design. I'm going to print out, test it, make sure it's awesome, and then put it on Shapeways so that I know when you print it out, you can just bang it in your truck. This is the twin servo mount I've designed. Backyard upper class bogan. Andrew? Paul's joined us. Hello Paul, how are you mate? Thanks for joining, much appreciated. So, as you guys know, I've been tinkering away, working on the Enduros to try and get them up to what I call scratch. So that when I send them out, I feel a bit more positive about sending them out. As I'm sure a lot of you guys know, I wasn't overly impressed when they came out of the box, but let's not get bogged down in that today. Had a lot of conversations about that in the last few days, I'll give you the tip. Not many people appreciated the honesty of my review, which is fine, I knew it was going to come. But it is what it is. I mean, in saying that, the majority of the people that have watched the streams that I did on this truck love the fact that I was so honest about it. I was surprised with how many likes and comments that were saying that it's so nice to see an honest review about it. Every other review they've seen has just been fluffed up nonsense, so to speak. So it's nice to see. Yoink. It's nice to see some people out there appreciate the honesty of it. Right. That's pretty much got that Mickey Mouse for now. So I've designed this thing about 4 times. Generally speaking, what I'll do is I'll design it once, print it out, test fit it, then make the necessary changes to make it as perfect as possible. Print it again, and then do the same thing again. I think I printed this thing out about 4 times. It takes about 3 hours to print one of these. So there's a lot of printing involved, but it's worth it. I mean, I've got it to the point now where this is an easy bolt-in upgrade for your Enduro. And this thing, you're not going to break this. You're just not. Zero flex. The chassis improvement on this truck now is tenfold. It is so good now compared to what it was out of the box. And I'll give you an example in a minute. Everyone's replying to stuff. Much better than buying a stock one. Yep. So, what I'm thinking of doing, I've got a couple of things we can do, and it's going to be up to you guys to decide. Harley's joined us. How dare you give an honest opinion? Who do you think you are? It's what I do, mate. If people don't like it, I'm sorry. But I bought the Ravage MT after watching your unboxing, and yes, it's an awesome truck. Dude, I love mine. Have you seen the latest stuff, Paul? Mate. There's a trophy truck. I suggest you go back and watch. I did 2 unboxing streams. There's a trophy truck. There's a monster, grenade monster or grenada. Grenade, I pronounce it. Or I sort of mix them up. But there's the grenade monster, grenade trophy, grenade short course. Go and check them out, dude. They are pretty bipping epic trucks. How much infill and layer height are you using? I can't remember, man. There's at least 30% infill. I'm not going to go something like 100 on it because 1, it'd take 10 hours to print one of these, and 2, it just doesn't need that. So I think it's about 30%. I can't remember the layer height. I can't remember. Not that green one. The green one. Oh, dude, what a beast. The camera doesn't show the green properly. It's better today, but look at this thing. Check this out, Wayne. Ball Gears, join us, hello, Matt. Yes, you unboxed the boxing. Yeah, they're just... I haven't had a chance to run it yet because, as you know, Paul, the weather's been a bit shitty lately. And I want to take these out in optimum conditions so that I can get the most out of it. I'm pumped to run these things because, oh my God, that suspension. It's just so good. It's addictive. So, if you haven't already, go and watch the unboxings of the Hobby Plus stuff because they're just epic. Next level. Stay. So, the update on this Enduro. Here's the stock one. Now the first thing I did was I designed a body clamp for it. Okay, and I'll show you why. So this is the factory body, which is held in by those two plastic strips that you can see. Okay, so there's that. So I designed the full width bracket. Okay. Like, this body legitimately now feels like it's a lot better quality body. It doesn't feel so paper thin everywhere. And it doesn't have massive big hits of flex in the middle. Okay? So we fixed that because that is just not good enough in my opinion. Now, granted, on the front of this truck I do have the servo mount installed. I've got to take it out and put the factory one back in for testing. But this gives you a bit of an idea of how easy this chassis flexes. Now I can feel that the front's better already because this tiny little wafer thin factory mount is not in there. And this plastic, I'm telling you fellas, is cheap. Okay? Cheap. So this currently has one of the prototypes of these in the front, which is coming out for testing. But you can see I'm barely putting any effort into that, and it's twisting really, really easily. Okay? Which is shite. And then the body pins are still bent because that's how she came out of the box. Okay, so this is the upgraded one. So obviously we've fixed the body. The body now feels tenfold better. As far as the chassis goes, you see all those grey and silver bits. Okay, so we've got the chassis brace in the middle at the back, which replaced this tiny little thing. Okay, with one that's about this size. This is one of the prototypes. So we've gone to this size. So you can see it there in the middle of the back. I also added, John's with us, Harley, body flexes like an old Dodge Ram body. Yep. Wayne won't lose sight of it much. Would that body fit the Ravage? No, I don't believe so. That body, dude, is huge. The Monster is a lot wider than the Ravage and longer. I also added the chassis brace in the middle here. I put a BCRC limited edition plate on it because I've put so much effort into making these trucks what I call acceptable to send out to you guys. Honestly, I would have felt bad sending them out stock. I know that sounds bad. I know people will take the piss, but I've got standards, okay? And it wasn't good enough stock for me to send out to you guys. Hence why I've put some nice Trill beadlocks on this truck. The other one's going to get some D1RC beadlocks. Put some nice beadlocks on it, which just improves the look tenfold. We've got the twin servo mount up in the front. Chassis brace here. Chassis brace here. And now the rigidity of this, I'm fair twisted on that to get it to move. Okay? And what the bonus is with this, regardless of what anyone else tries to tell you on Facebook, because everything on the internet's true, Now the shocks can actually do what they're supposed to do. Okay. Now, something I did find funny the other day was the shocks in this truck. This was the second one we unboxed. Feel heaps better. Still not perfect. If whoever wins it wants me to redo them how I do them, let me know. Still not perfect, but oddly a lot better than the other truck. Anyway, like I said, we're not going to bog down in the other stuff, but so far I've done that, and I've put my own servo armour plate under the front bash plate. So these come upgraded as it is, straight to whoever wins them. So I'm still yet to take out the first one and test drive it. I'll be driving that as bone stock, so I'm going to put back in the factory little shitty servo holder. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to drive it as factory, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to give another review on how it drives. Now, I've no doubt it's going to drive okay. Yeah, go ahead and reach the shocks. They're just like, even this one's better than the other one, but they're still just lazy. Like, no. The shocks do look nice, apart from the plastic caps. They do look nice, and it's one of the prettier parts of the truck, where it actually looks like there's a little bit of quality. But they feel dreadful. They feel better than the first one. The first one's just a squishy mess. So there was a lot of differences between the two trucks. On one of them, the steering link hits, which is something I still have to fix. The steering link hits the front upper link, whereas on this one it doesn't. The body posts were bent on that one, they weren't on this. Both bodies were scratched. It's just, yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. Now, we've got a couple of options. Actually, before we even get into that, Dream Goal. Check her out up there. Cross RC SU4C. That's what I want to give away next. So, to give this thing away, we're going to need support. I better send a link to the stream to Dennis. He's going to shoot me. Sorry, Dennis. I'm really funny now about sharing it because I get in trouble. When I say trouble, I get put in Facebook jail. Alright, some people looking to join BCRC. We'll let you join, mate. Lovely. Okay. So yes, we've got the stream goal up here. We've got to hit this so we can buy a Cross RC SU4C and give it away in the streams. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to print out all of my upgrades, the rear ladder, the window meshes, the exhaust system, the fuel tank, and anything else I come up with, the center console for the roof, anything I can come up with for the Cross RC bloody dearly SU4C. I'm going to print out every single thing I make for it and send to the winner as well. So you get the premium edition of the Cross truck. You get the all the 3D parts I make. It's just awesome. So in the builder's kit, Ben Dave has subscribed. Thank you very much for your subscription, Ben Dave. Very much appreciated, mate. Mike, I sent the builder's kit in stock at a local hobby shop for $2.39. It comes with better parts, looks like. I believe the shock tops on the builder's kit are the metal ones, which if you want to upgrade these ones, it's $33 US just to put the shock caps on top. Other than that, I don't know what else comes with it, Mike. After unboxing these two, I haven't done a whole lot of research into what else they've done, because between the unboxing and then the nonsense on Facebook, I'm absolutely blown away by Element as a company. They're just a shambles. For those that don't know, have a look at my Facebook profile and you'll see. How do I win the truck? Well, you have to be a member of BCRC, which is Burden's Custom RC Builds on Facebook. I'll put the name in the chat. You have to be a member of there, and what we do is we do come on, okay, we do a list with 100 numbers on it. Someone drop a link to the group. What have you missed? Nothing much, mate. I just showed off some of the stuff I've done for the element and just talk a bit of smack. So not much. We do a list in the Facebook group, Paul, and essentially how it works is, and this is, yeah, I know, I'm terrible, John. I'm just honest, buddy. To keep YouTube happy and Facebook happy, we do a list, and there's 100 numbers, and to get free entries on the list, you make a donation. Now, the donations for the stream are for this goal. The donations to enter the list are a separate donation. So if you just want to enter the list, don't donate here. But if you want to support everything and help us meet these goals, there's a link in the description. You can donate here. Now, there is super chats in the comment button there. They're essentially a tip for me. So if you like what I do a super chat. That doesn't go to the goal. YouTube's added super chats again. I don't know why. I did cancel them, but should you like to give me a tip because you like what I do, be greatly appreciated. Any tips I do get essentially go back into posting these things out and that sort of thing. So anything I get pretty much goes back into BCRC. So I hope that sort of explains it, Paul. We have a maximum amount of numbers each person can have. Generally it's 4, and one free entry is usually $6 minimum donation. If you want to donate more, that's up to you. We've had plenty of people drop a 50 and say, give me 4 numbers, dude. And some people will say, oh, you pick the numbers. And it's like, no, you pick them. Just, dude, pick your numbers. So I've changed how we do the numbers in the last one. I open and close the numbers so that more people around the world get a chance to enter. And also I set it out so that if you want to have numbers on the list, you comment on the list, you tag me, and then I contact you. So stay by your phone. Don't put a comment and then go out for 6 hours. If you do, you're going to miss out, because I can't hold everyone else off to wait, hours for one person. So we've got 2 options. We can either install this kit in the other CR24, which I've got to do at some stage anyway. So we can install that into the other CR24, which is, for those that don't know, this little beast. Check that out. Or I can hit the be right back button and I can go over here and grab a build a stream build essentially is what it is. I was contacted by Michael. Michael's usually with us, but I think he's been at work right now. Michael wants me to build a truck for him because he just hasn't got the time to do it, so we're going to build it on streams. These streams can be fired up at any time of day or night, all depending on what I'm doing, whether I can sleep, etc. and so on. So we're going to be building a TFL Bronco. So if you'd like to see us unbox a TFL Bronco kit, which I've never had anything to do with, so it's going to be new for me too, let me know and we can do that, or we can do the CR24. So it's up to you guys. Let me know what you think. I've got to change my chat to live chat because it's not popping up properly. Silly thing. Mike, I can't believe how they acted. It was disgraceful. Plain and simple. It's all on Facebook. I can't bother going over it because it just frustrates the crap out of me. How a company can be so childish, non-professional. Just one thing after another, man. So you guys let me know in the chat. I've currently got some bring out the TFL, says Bet. Pretty keen to check it out if I'm honest. To the TFL. Okay, 2 for the TFL. I'm currently printing out some car ramps that I've designed. You guys would have seen those. And my little BCRC Beatmaster radios. Pumped about those. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so what I've been doing, I'm going to carefully see if I can remove one while it's still printing, because it's above one of them now. I've been printing stuff like the little radios and things in 2 different ways. So I'll have one sitting upright and one laying down to see which way it prints best. Oh no, it's still working on it. It mustn't even be finished. It's just doing the dials and stuff, so I won't remove it. TFL. Alright, I'm going to hit the be right back button. The video's going to pop up showing you cool crawlery stuff. I'll go and grab the stuff I've got for the build, and then we'll come back over here. Let me put the Jeep up here, get this out of the way. Wicked little things they are. Now, keep your eye out for Hobby Plus stuff, because they are releasing an 18th scale crawler in 3 or 4 different bodies. Can't tell you what they all are, you're just going to have to wait and see. And they look epic, they look awesome already. And we will be unboxing them here. I love my Hobby Plus stuff, it's a brilliant bit of gear. If you haven't checked them out, I suggest you do. They've got some cool RCs, man. Alright, I keep clicking the wrong thing and I'm going to end up shutting something down. Okay, so I'm going to hit be right back. I'm going to grab the stuff I've got for the TFL and let's do an unboxing. Okie dokes. Johnny, the only reason I want to win one of those element trucks you have is because you had a lot to do with them, and I want to support your channel. Much appreciated, dude. I can tell you now, I would near put money on it, that the ones that leave this garage and go out to you guys is going to drive better and handle better than the factory ones. I damn near put money on it. Okay, so I was contacted by Michael. He's usually in the streams, but like I say, he's not at the moment. Contacted by Michael, and he said, look, I've got a TFL Bronco here that I just haven't got the time to build. I've had it for ages. Is it something you'd be keen to build on the streams? So, dude, that'd be awesome. You know, it's a chance for one, me to build one, because I've not built one before. 2, for you guys to check it all out with me, see what you think of it. And 3, I don't know, just thought it'd be good content for the stream, something a bit, you know, might be interesting to watch. Mike's thought about the Bronco several times. They're one of those trucks that's easily forgotten, I think, and that's, I guess that's why you don't see them a lot, because you'll see them on Facebook and go, oh, the Bronco, shit, I might check those out, and then it's very easily forgotten because they're not very mainstream, I guess. Now, as you can see, we've got some bits here, we've got a box here, we've got a body up here. Michael wasn't overly pumped on using the factory body. So he said, look, I've got a couple of bodies. Look, we've got this one, we've got the factory one. So we've got some ideas of stuff we can do. We've got some wheels and tyres here, which I'll show you in a second. So he sort of like, this is what I've got. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking we can do? And I said, well, we've got 2 options. We can make it so that you run the factory body, the factory wheels. I'll weather the crap out of it all, make it almost look a tad apocalyptic, and to change the whole look of the truck, it's as simple as changing the body and changing the wheels. And the second look we can go for is like a SEMA show build. Never thought I'd see these in the BCRC garage. Get a load of those things. Where's Tony Gutierrez? It's a wonder he's not here just because of the size of these. These are the D1RC 3.2 wheels. It's very shiny. I did laugh when I seen these. It's like, dude, they are stupid big. He said, look, I don't care if technically we use them, but if it's something you want to do and we can make sort of something happen using these, that's cool. If we end up just using what comes with it, that's fine too. So there's those, and if we use those, that's obviously for the SEMA show style build. We're which is option number 2. Now, obviously, my goal is to achieve both of these things. So, I want the chassis to be Mickey Mouse spotless clean, the factory body to be rusted up and look rusty as it should, rust up the factory wheels, dirty up the tyres. So it's as simple as changing the wheels and tyres and the body. 2 minutes and you've transformed your rusty old beat up truck into a brand new SEMA build. That's sort of the goal. So we've got the D1R. That's huge. 3.2s. Look at them, would you? They're nice. They're nice wheels. They're machined really nicely. Focus camera. They're huge. Sorry. This is a Cross 1.9. I mean, really, guys? Like, that's... I said to Mike, I laughed when he showed me this. I said, that's stupid big, dude. He said, yeah, I know, but I thought they were pretty cool looking. And they're nice. Like I said, they're not horrible wheels. They're just huge. Alright. So we've got 4 of those bad boys. And I will say the tyres, these are D1RC tyres, actually feel legitimately really good. So I've no doubt you could crawl with these and actually still perform really well. The tyres are very luggy. I've no doubt they'd actually perform really well. It's just they've really got to tickle your fancy to put wheels this big on your crawler. What do we got here? Little box of I won't open these because they're really fine stuff. Just a few little extra details like metal wiper blades and such like that. Like Mike's gone all out to try and to do a really nice build. You need to add some colour changing LEDs under that show setup. That's an option. We can just mount some to the body, have it so it plugs into your receiver, or perhaps you've got a separate remote and you can change it to flashy lights and all that sort of thing. So there's options, man. That wheel is bigger than the tyres I run. It's a big wheel. It's a big wheel. Alright, so in this little bag here, we've got some more bits and pieces. We've got some guns. We've got a driver. Now, with this driver already, I was showing Michael when he was here, options for things you can do to your drivers. And I'll show you what I mean. Now, generally speaking, your drivers are all shiny new like that. Focus. So you can see how he's all shiny. Yeah? Well, I grabbed out my weathering kit. Let's see if it will focus. And I dirtied up his face a bit. I got rid of some of the actual camo paint off his face. And I also dirtied up his trouser leg. I just took that shine off it with some of the Tamiya weathering kits. You can see the difference. This side is a lot shinier and not as realistic looking as the other side that's actually dirty and it has a bit of texture to it. So there's the driver. The air racing sleeping bag. Some of the parts do not... Yes, I believe they are DC wipers. The stuff that I'm getting at now, most of which is not stock. The stock stuff's in here. We've got his servo. JX servo he wants to run. Focus. Focus. JX servo. 21 kilogram. We do have another servo here that he had as an option. This is a 30 kilo, so I might use this one. Okay, might run that in it. Spare tyre cover. I'm not going to bog down too much in these details. Spare tyre cover from Yeah Racing. These are actually really good. I've run those on numerous trucks. I still run one on my TFL Bronco Defender. Check this out for a bumper. This is a TFL bumper. Go on, focus. That's some legit nice machine work there. What do you think of that? I'm not doing much justice with how I'm holding it, but this is one of the bumpers. That's actually legit really nice. And I believe this is the bumper that comes with it. I believe. I could be wrong. But it's quite nice. I quite like that. What else have we got there? We've got some door handles and mirrors that I assume was for this body, if I remember correctly. some tie-down straps, fire extinguisher, racing harness for the seats. Yeah, racing just does everything. What else have we got? A 3D printed grill he got from a guy off the interwebs, or eBay I believe it was, because apparently the factory grill on these trucks isn't much to look at. But like I said to Mike, that I could possibly design my own grill for it, or I'll see what I can do with the factory one. If we're going to rust it up, it might not matter so much that the factory grill's not brilliant, if that makes sense, because we're going to dirty it up, we can sort of hide where it lacks, if that makes sense. He doesn't know if we can use these, but in worst case we can use the wheel hexes with the disc on them. I don't know if we can use the actual caliper setup on it. We've got those from D1RC. We've got some more racing harnesses. We've got a receiver for his radio, which I can actually bind to my radio to make sure everything's running perfect before I give Mike his truck back. Some... who are they from? ERC, I guess. They're pretty beefy. Some sliders. Beefcake sliders. We've got a couple of those. Then we've got some LEDs. Some... he was really disappointed with these. Let me... I'm not disappointed, but put these back in here. That. There's a lot of stuff here. Like, Michael was really well prepared for this build. I generally buy the chassis, buy the body, start building it, and then add pieces as I go. But over time, Michael's just gone, oh, I like that, I'll get that for the build. Oh, I like that, I'll get that for the build. Okay, so, TFL, ready? He thought they were bigger than that. They're really nice looking hooks, but look how tiny they are. So I don't think we're going to use those. They're very scaled, they're very nice looking, but I think they're a smidge too small. Right, that can sit down here for now. My back. So I can do massive wheels and tyres. Okay, and then we've got, I'm not going to pull this out of the bag yet because I don't want to misplace anything. HPI Racing's Ford Bronco. I mean, it's a Lexan body. There's sort of not much you guys can see. You can see in the picture. I believe this is for, what is it? 1973 Ford Bronco body. What's it for? Just a HPI one. I can't remember what the truck is. Fully licensed replica. It's a nice body. If you want to look up this actual body, the part number is 7179. HPI Ford Bronco. Now the plan with this was to cut some of the back of the body out, etc., so that we can use the existing cage that comes with the truck. Very nice decal sheet by the looks. Like I said, I'm not going to crack this open yet because I don't want to lose anything. I want to have everything in here ready to go for when it's needed. What else have we got here? Wheel hubs. G-Made wheel hubs. I've used those quite a bit and they're actually really good. G-Made makes some really nice stuff. I wouldn't mind testing out the G-Made. The new sawback. I haven't had a G-Made yet, but they, by the looks of things, they make some really nice stuff. And then we've got the next option, the axe setup. Now, Michael said to me, do I need to use that? I said, realistically, no. You don't need to use it. It's a lot of... These things, right, they're a lot of money. And there's no two ways about that. They're a lot of money. You don't have to have this to have a nice truck that drives well, that you have a barrel of laughs with. I gave Michael my honest opinion. The HPI body's meant for the Savage. There you go. Thank you for your help, Dennis. Mike says those are nice bodies. It does look like a really nice body. So with these, and I gave Michael my opinion. I said, look, if you want to use this, that's cool, dude. We'll put it in and use this. And he said, what would you do? I said, honestly, I would run the Year Racing motor with a 1080 and the Year Racing servo, or one of the, the servos he's got to find, we can use one of those. So then you can sell this. If you don't really need it, get your money back for it, dude. So I know there's lots of guys out there that'll go, as if you wouldn't use this. You don't need to use this. That's what I'm saying, okay? This is not a must. It's not your crawler's shit unless you've got one of these, which a lot of people fall into that mistake, and I'm not one of those guys. Because, like I said to Michael, I can guarantee you we can put a Year Racing motor in it, the servo, you've got a 1080 ESC, and you will have just as much fun, just as good a quality as that setup. Wayne, I have a set of G-made shocks on my Honcho internal soft springs. They work very well. I've got lots of G-made wheels and shit. My Camel truck's got G-made wheels on it. The Camel I sent to New Mexico's got G-made on it, and they're brilliant. Bull Gip, I have an axe system for my ugly bubba. The hell's that? Okie dokes, I'm going to swig in my coffee, and then we're going to rip into the box, because I'm keen to check this out now. When Michael dropped this off, I didn't even open the box. I said, no, I'm not going to look in it until we unbox it. Okie dokes. User supplied items. Charger, obviously. Electronic speed control, servo, battery, 540 size motor, transmitter. Wheelbase is 305mm. The length is 478mm. The width is 233mm. The height is 241mm. Motor between a 27 and 55 turn 540 is what's recommended. So if we put a 13 or 16 turn just climb motor in it, we'll be in around the 35-45 turn range. Dennis, sorry I'm late. You should be, man. Put it in, but he would like both setups. It's up to Michael. Like when it comes down to it, I'll say, what do you want to do, dude? If you want to run that, go for it. If you don't, you can sell it and get however many hundreds of dollars back that he paid for it. That's sort of how I look at it. Value for money. Ugly Bubba is my beast. RC testosterone. Yeah, but what model RC is it? That's what I was asking. 2-channel radio, 7.4 to 11 point. So 2 or 3S LiPo. Something I do like about this box is simple, to the point, says all of the measurements. No varies, okay? Andrew's joined us. Hello, Andrew. How's things, mate? All right, wicked, yeah. For those that have joined late, we have a new goal, okay? Cross RC, SU4C. For those that don't know what that is, here's one I prepared earlier. I've got wires hanging out of it. I've been taking the body off and on, putting stuff on my truck. Cross RC SU4C. This is what I want to give away next. Not this particular truck. It'll be a kit that you build. Okay? One of the best scale trucks on the market, without a doubt. Okay? So this is our next goal. Should you want to help us achieve this goal, there's a link in the description to make donations. Generally speaking, in the past, you guys have smashed these goals in 2 days. I don't expect that to happen every time, but if you want to see us give one of these away and you want a chance to win one, we've got to raise the cash so we can buy it, essentially. So, link in the description. Let's see if we can smash this goal, which would be epic. Because these trucks, I'm telling you, they're just the bee's knees. Opening bonnet. My nails long enough yet? Opening bonnet. Detailed engine bay. Brilliant. Full scale interior. Full light kit. Light up dashboard. Full scale interior. Removable rear door so you can put your battery into the back. Just epic bits of kit. Epic. So that's what I want to give away next. Okie dokes. Let's see what's in the box, shall we? I like the box art. Okay, simple and effective. A little pixelised, if I'm honest, if I look at the picture closely. So the picture quality wasn't brilliant that they used, but shit happens. It's more about what's in the box and what's on it. TFL Racing. So it's a pretty simplified, classy looking box, if that makes sense. Less is more kind of thing. Alright. So this is my first time opening this box. First things first, the manual and a magazine. Product catalogue. Okay. Give me 2 seconds and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Okay. So, seeing here, pictures and options. God, they're all whoop-de-doo. Pictures and options of different TFL products to suit different bodies. That'll suit the extra speed. Yes, the extra speed body. Product specifications, and that's all about this truck. Yada yada yada. There's some nice gear in there. Okay, so there's that, and then we've got the instruction book, which we are going to take a quick sticky beak at because I'm going to be building this truck on streams. Okay. Dennis, the only time I think scale truck is shite is when it has too much chassis flex. Who's looking at your element? Dennis said it, not me. The other Dennis says one of the best kits I've bought. You mean the SU4C, Dennis, or this? Andrew says, what are you unboxing today? This. The TFL Bronco, mate. Let's see inside. As soon as we have a quick look at the book, we will look inside the box. I can see already it's nicely packed, which is awesome. But I want to have a quick look at the book. This is what we do with all these things, so if you're impatient, go make a quick coffee, come back. Okay, so quick parts breakdown. Tells you which bags to open, which is good. Tells you where decals go, where paint goes, that's good. Has a fake motor cover, which is good. Man, it's more. This may be a very quick build. Is that the killer body? Yes. But essentially they put the killer body in there on their chassis. There's also the extra speed D110 with their chassis underneath it, things like that. Looking at these pictures, once I've got everything painted, which is probably the first step with this truck, which is weird, obviously, because usually you'll build your ladder chassis and you'll build your diffs and all that sort of stuff, and then you'll work on your body. With this, I'm going to have to paint everything and then put it together because it all builds around a metal cage. I've got a feeling it's not going to take us too long to smash this build out. Which is good because Michael doesn't have the time to do it. Sorry, I didn't even show you guys in the book. Right, so you'll see on this page, everything is based around that particular cage there. Okay? And then it's paint your certain pieces, put your certain pieces on, on the body, etc., and attach those to the cage as you go, sort of deal. So it's good because it's a different style build to what I'm used to. Obviously, like I said, I'm used to the typical build your chassis, get all that stuff running, then do your body, and then add that to the truck. So that's good. So far, impressive. Okay, good instruction manual. Even the advertising catalogue, which I'm not huge on. If we want to find this stuff, we'll find it. But the catalogue's not too bad. Okay, so I've got to try and remember how some of this stuff goes because I'm going to want to put it back in here like this. Right, first things first. Oh, the wheels, they're gorgeous. Are you sure we want to rust this up, Michael? Who is TFL? I don't know what it stands for, if I'm honest. Who's TFL, guys? Is it short for something? It has to be. Team Beepin' Legends Racing. I don't know. So this bag has our light buckets, which... Okay, they're pretty nice. I have the LC70 with the RC full drive chassis. Would love to find a capable chassis that still looks to scale. Let me see, this is for Mike. Jesus. TFL has a lot of parts. what's that one? That's essentially your SCX10 style chassis. That's an SCX10 style. Bear with me, I'm just trying to find the chassis for Mike so we can get a rough idea of what they'll be using. That way, Mike, you can, there you go, the T10. It is a special frame for that body. The TFL C1401 chassis and Toyota LC70 special frame. So that is, I'll close up cam this for Mike. There you go, Mike. That's the chassis that's designed for the Toyota body, which actually looks quite nice. TFL C1401. Okay, it's quite nice. And there is optioned parts and all that sort of fun stuff too. So that's good. It's short for something. I have a TFL boat. That doesn't help us, Mike. I can Google it if you guys really want to know. Now, some of these parts, obviously, I'm going to have zero idea of what they are. I will say that looks like the front windscreen, though. I believe. Possibly. Yes. That will be the front windscreen. There's a piece of... I'm going to say it's not Lexan. It's... it'll come to me. Nice little metal surround there. I mean, this stuff looks nicely made already. It's nicely folded. Not very strong. But I mean, it's a window surround. This is going to attach to the body somehow. There's 2 screws in the bottom. And I suggest the top slides into somewhere. Terra Firma Limited. There you go. I did not know that. Thank you, Paul. Very much appreciated. So we've got that. I'm not going to open these up and lose all the pieces, but there is actually light buckets and such in here. Come on, camera, what are you doing? Stop having a day off. Light buckets and such in there that do, I mean, you can see just from how that shines on the metal, that actually looks really nicely machined. And they're threaded, and you put, that's, okay, I'm going to show you these. Because that's quite surprising. Wow. Don't stuff up, print. Okay, so we have our light lenses here. And this is why this kit's not cheap. I can't tell you exactly what it costs, but it's not cheap. And this is going to be part of the reason. Okay. Check this bad boy out. I'll focus. Come on. So you can see this. You're thinking of plexiglass. I'm thinking of something like that. I don't know if it's called plexiglass. There's something else. It'll come to me. So you've got these that are threaded. Okay. And then you've got the front of the light surrounders threaded also. So this screws onto here. Don't drop it. To give you that look. Oh, come on. Why do you no focus? There we go. So that's threaded. And then to attach it to the body, you poke it through the body and thread the big nut on it. And I've got to say, all of this stuff is just machined to perfection. It is legit gorgeous. I've got a feeling we may be using the factory grill on this, because if that's how that's made, we're going to have to use that over the 3D printed one. Perspex! That's the stuff I'm thinking of. Thank you. Right. Just clear plastic sheet, but I mean Perspex is what it's called. I'm really quite impressed with that already. So we're going to, I think that's a bit of a decision maker for me. We're definitely going to have to use the factory grill, because the quality of these light lenses, the light surrounds rather and such, is just phenomenal. Which is absolutely brilliant. Because, yeah, Mike wasn't sure which one we were going to go with. Like I said, he bought a 3D printed grill because he heard these grills weren't great. But I've got to tell you, pretty bloody impressed with that. Okay, so if I can get this to fit in this bag. I do like to try and put stuff back where I got it and as neat as possible so that when I go to build it, it's a lot easier. I was running out of names. You nailed it, man. Perspex. It's not perplex, it's perspex, I believe. Anyway. Johnny, I've also seen someone who built one of these trucks, and I believe they said you install the electronics before closing the body around the chassis. Thank you for the tip. I shall pay very close attention to the manual when I build it. The next bag. And oh Jesus, I might have to get one of these trucks for myself. There's some nice looking bits in here if I'm honest. Next bag, wheels and tyres. Now these are already mounted up, which is a bonus I guess. Because it saves me time. But I think I can't rust this stuff. I mean I can, but I'm not going to. Right, you guys tell me. Oh, come on camera, what are you doing, mate? You guys tell me if you want that rusted. For $1,000 Australian dollars, I would expect the most. So far from what I'm seeing, Andrew, I know it's an expensive truck. There's no two ways about it. But my word, that is impressive. I don't know what a set of these wheels cost. You fellas are welcome to look them up so that we know. But man, I don't think I can. I don't think I can rust these up. They're too pretty. They're gorgeous wheels. They are vented. Sorry, you guys can't see shit. They are vented. I don't think. I mean, if Mike says go for it, dude, just rust it, I'll rust them. But they are very pretty, and it almost looks like it'd be a shame to rust them because. I mean, look at them, man. They're bloody stunning. And they do have... Let me grab one of these centre caps out and a bolt for it. Where's the driver I need? Right, and this is just so we can all have a sticky beak and a look. They do have a nice... Come on, mate. What are you doing? They do have a nice scale centre cap. This tyre feels bloody nice if I'm honest. Very nice and sticky. It is very soft. I will say that. So don't go putting these tyres on a really, really heavy truck. Because I mean you can see I'm not squeezing that overly hard. They are very soft. Obviously you can change the foam should you put them on a heavy truck, but just to fill those tyres, they feel like they'll perform. 1.9 by 4.6. TFL Racing Bajas, and I like the tread pattern. It's really quite nice. Those rims are too pretty. Far too pretty for me to rust up. I'm gonna have to tell Michael I can't rust them. The camera's been a real bit of a shit today. It is what it is. We shall continue on. Yes, there's foams in them. The rims are vented. I don't know if they're single stage foams or what. I'd have to take the wheels apart and look, but I'm not doing that right now. It may well say in the book what they are. Okie doke. But I can confirm they are bloody stunning and the tyres feel Mickey Mouse. That's really nice. The more I delve into this kit, the more excited I am to build it. Because I won't just build it, obviously. I will be able to do what I do with my photography and take pictures of all the parts and which gives you guys a better look at it. And also, I enjoy doing that, which is, I know, stupid, but anyway, I can take photos of all the parts, take photos of the entire build, start to finish. From what I've seen so far, we're 2 bags in. It's pretty impressive. Okay, now normally I stall as much as I can before we get the big parts out of the box, but the big part's the next piece on top. Okay. So this is the body and the cage. It's got a legit spare tyre, which is good, with another hubcap and everything on it. That's for our spare. Anyway. Now, I'm not sure exactly what this material is, but apparently it can be a bitch to paint. Apparently it can be a bit of a bitch to paint. Oh, I see. That's just loosely bolted in. This is the cage, and this is the body. Now, it's impressive. It looks really nice. The body's not perfect. It's obviously been painted in something, and there's some runs in the coating, we'll call it. There's some runs in the coating. Apparently it's like a fiberglass finish or something like that, the material is. Apparently a lot of people have trouble. I think it's fiberglass, yeah. And a lot of people have trouble getting a really nice smooth paint job on it, but I think I might have to try, because I mean, I can rust the body, that's easy. But the wheels are just so pretty, it'd be a shame to do it. What holds the body on? Oh, okay, I see. I see now why he was talking about the grille, okay? Because the grille's just a part of the body. If anyone... Oh, Michael's here. I think it's fine. So Michael's in the stream. This is who we're building the truck for. I see now, Michael, while you were talking about changing the grille. I didn't realise it was a part of the body, which is a bit of a shame. If anyone from TFL by chance should watch this, and you make more of these trucks, have this a big square hole and put a Tamiya grill in it, because the Tamiya grills are perfect. My boat is made of it. Then it's gel coat on top. Okay, well that's going to have to be sanded back anyway, a smidge, because there's runs and stuff in it, which is a bit of a shame. But we'll see. Michael, we've been checking out the parts for this truck, mate, and those wheels are too pretty to rust. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous wheels. It's so far from what I've looked at. I'll show you guys underneath. Okay. So far from what I've looked at, it's very nice. I mean, the chassis doesn't look as nice quality as the rest of the truck. But I mean, it's a tube chassis, and to get this looking as nice as the wheels and the other bits that are in the box, it'd cost twice what it already cost anyway. It does feel strong. It feels very sturdy. Looks well thought out. It's a shame that body is fiberglass. Why it's not hard plastic? If I could make that in hard plastic easy enough. I still like it, don't get me wrong. So that gives you a bit of a look under the body. So the actual body bolts on with what? 1, 2 bolts there. One, 2 bolts there, 1, 2 bolts there. And that's it. Right, there's 2 bolts on top, but that's where... Now they're more body bolts, I believe. I'll find out everything, obviously. Michael, that's going to be a beautiful truck. Well, hopefully I can do justice for the truck and for Michael. That's my goal, obviously. Look, my body's the biggest concern, and it's a bit of a toss-up now that I sit here looking at it. I wish the body was hard plastic, because then I wouldn't have to stress at all about painting it. I mean, my plan is to light sand the body, Tamiya primer it, and then Tamiya paint it. I was going to rust it up, but I think, Mike, given how pretty, it's very pretty, given how pretty all these parts are, I'm sort of going against that way. I mean, if you want me to do it, still I can do it. Because, like you said, the grill is a bit fugly. For honest. Let me look. Where are you, grill? Right here somewhere? Nope, wrong bag. This one. Right, so I'm going to have a look at this. A lot of clear. Yeah, the goal is if I go shiny and clean, it has to be perfect. It just has to be. Right, like I said, and this is what I said to Michael. If it's a bit of a shitty body to paint, well, I can just rust it, and rust and dirt and stuff is easy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what body it is or what material it is, because you can hide imperfections with rust and such. If there's a little nick in the gel coat here, I can turn that into a little rusty patch and stuff like that to just try and drive home the fact that it's a rusty old truck. But because of the gel coat, because it's a fiberglass body, everything's got to be... I'm going to have to think on that one. And then obviously if it's shiny, well shit, what colour do you do it? Go the direction you want. I'll come up with something good, dude. Alright, so this is the grill. I'm gonna pinch the measurements off this grill, Michael. And I'm gonna design you one myself. If we go this body and we do a nice shiny paint job on it, and I don't, we could two-tone it right across here. Silver on the bottom, candy apple red on top. Oh, I can see it already. I can make my own grill with angry eyes on it, built into the grill. I mean, that grill feels nice, but I think it's a bit tall. Well, that might be okay. Angry Eye the grill. Give it some proper definition grill lines, because as you guys can see in this printed grill, and I mean, I know I haven't been doing printing that long, but I like to think I'm sort of picking up on it pretty quick, and there's a lot of spots on this little grill. Let me close up cam it so I'm not reaching halfway across the bloody place. There's a lot of spots on this grill where extra detail can be added. They're just open holes where there could be a slight rise on the outside of each one of those holes to give the whole grill more depth, etc. Use a colour that you can hide the blemish. Flat black. So, Michael, do you remember, actually, I'm going to grab one of my trucks, and I want you guys to tell me what you think of those colours, because I think honestly they'll be perfect on that. What do you think, Michael? Two-tone, same colour theme as this. You can call it strawberry shortcake. possibly a slightly deeper red than this, but I honestly think this colour scheme with those wheels and tyres on that body, just satin black grille, leave the headlight surrounds the polished look that they are. I think that'd look Mickey Mouse, if I'm honest. And this is why I love this hobby, because we've gone from looking at this, okay? We've gone from looking at this to now I can already see these two colours on this with those wheels, and depending on how much stuff comes in the kit, I'll see if I can design you a fuel tank. I've probably got one, but so I like the silver idea too. But I think it'll be a good mix of metallic and gloss, and that's why I did it on this truck, because it's a good mix, and it's, dare I say it, classier as opposed to showier, if that makes sense. Because you've got this is a warm racing white. They're the differences. Like if you just go plain white, well, it's white, and when you take photos, it's hard to get good photos of it. If you go a warm white, you see more of the angles and such of the truck and the depth of it. So I think we're on a bit of a winner. I quite like that. I do quite like that idea. I think it'd suit that body. And then I could do the dashboard red. Yes, the dashboard red. Oh, the ideas are just... I'll put the truck back. This is why... Oh, my back. This is why I love this hobby. Because this may not be a particular custom build, which I cop flack from sometimes because apparently I don't do enough. But I love the fact that we can look at what you would call a blank canvas, and we can come up with an idea. You look at it and go, and then make it. Now I've got something. Actually, this is a good idea too. Love that it's making you think. Well, and this is what I love doing. Two-tone interior, yes. The dashboard will be the red for sure. The bottom half of the bottom half of the interior will be black. I will also be using for the floor. Okay? So you're going to have a proper textured floor. We don't stuff around here. And I'll see if I can maybe put this on the console as well, maybe not. I'll see, but it'll at least be on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Christian Oliver, for that too. Main Street. Little things like this, I don't know where he got it or what it's called, but he gave me 2 rolls of it. And it's double side stick-on stuff. Hydro dip the body. That's cheating. Honestly, I'd rather just paint it. Mark, what's up? Hope you're good today. Yep, much better than it was when I unboxed the element trucks. So I think we've decided the colour scheme. I got it off Christian Oliver. Christian's in the Facebook group. If you want to shoot him a message or just do a post in the group and tag her and say, I've seen that stick-on carpet stuff. Where did you get it? I can't remember what it's called, or I don't even know where he got it. But I've got 2 little rolls of it, so I'm using it ever so slightly. So think yourself lucky, Michael. You know what? Depending on, and this is up to you again, Michael, depending on how far everything goes up into the back here, I might design my own dashboard for this. Because the one that's in it, what's that held in with? Just one bolt? Let me take it out, if I can. Is it a 2? Where's my little thing? This may be a bit of a pain in the ass to work on this thing. Alright. So what I'm thinking, looking how that was sitting, right? You see how that's basically how that was sitting. I'm not sure if that's exactly where it should be, but we're losing a lot of leg room for our scale figurines. I'll have to double check the manual. No, that's supposed to sit back further. That's supposed to be way back there. Okay, that floor's got to come down a bit yet. Just, it doesn't look like it's going to fit very well. Which is not something I thought I'd say on this truck. Okay, there we go. So that's better. I feel better about it now. Okay, so that's where the floor's actually, the interior is supposed to sit, which is a lot better than how it was sitting when it turned up. I could possibly still look at doing my own dashboard for it. Bit more of a custom deal. Yeah, it's a bit of a, you're sort of going to have to, I'm going to have to work my way around myself, if that makes sense. But it is what it is, we'll be fine. Time that's bolted down and level. Yeah, we can look at options. I'll still paint this one up and do everything I was going to do with this. If I make my own, I can make it right hand drive for you. So that's the thing. I don't know if it comes with foot pedals. If it doesn't, I can make those too. And I love the 3D printer. But anyway, we've got options. I'm going to put that this in the box so I don't lose it. It is cool. I'm looking forward to it. I know the body's going to be a bit of a challenge as far as getting the paint as perfect as I'd like it. The white won't be so bad because it's white and you can sort of get away with a bit with that. The metallic red, however, we'll see. That can stay in the box and that way I know where it is. So that's our body anyway. Let's put that aside. Okay. I'm trying not to click my mouse. I'll sit that down here. Lovely. Sit that there. Lovely. Right, next. I did show before. There's a proper full-size spare tyre in there. One of those pretty wheels. Oh yeah, right-hand drive, says Mike. So I'll see how I go. I'll pull the dashboard out, possibly even tonight, and just sit down and look at the shape if it takes some measurements as I do and see if I can't print you out a dashboard. Essentially, set it up so the steering wheel's in the same spot and that, I don't know, I might make a custom tacho, proper gauges. That dash only seems to have one gauges. Axle's next, Mike. Axle's next. The floor stuff looks like toolbox liner. It might be. I can't remember where it come from. So that's our spare. Well, that's the motor Mike got. What's that, 45 turn? That'll be right. There's the ESC. I'll dig into that in a moment. Okie dokes. Let's not faff about now. I love it when... This reminds me of when I first built that old girl. When you open up the box and you're seeing another box with a window in your axles. Okay? So, these are the axles. Pretty box, which is nice. Just got to make sure that's still going alright. I like it when stuff's boxed like this. It's a sign that the company gives a shit, which is important. How have they done this? There's more engineering in this box than there is in the Enduro. I bet that'll go down well. So, look, this is what I'm talking about. To get the axles out, excuse me, to get the axles out, I have to slide this piece of cardboard out of the end of the box because it is in fact a locking key for the diffs. That's, if they care this much about the box that holds the axles that are in the box full of foam and wrapping, it should be pretty bloody nice. I will say immediately that they are very beefy. Very, very beefy. That's so big. That is what you call a big pumpkin. That is actually legitimately bigger than the PG4 pumpkin, which is big. I mean, which is fine if you drive your truck properly, it doesn't matter. But my word. Let's get you a bit of a sticky beak at this thing. I mean, you can see no scratches, none. Exactly how it should be. Okay, open a box, no scratches. I mean, you can see the quality of it. It's just Mickey Mouse, mate. It's pretty bloody bang on. It is damn pretty. Now, I will say, to spin this with your finger, there is a bit of tightness there and a little bit of cogginess there. So what I'll do is I will open it up. I don't know how well you will hear it, but you can slightly hear that. So I'll open these up. Yeah, this is why. Focus, please. Refocus. Okay, so I'll take these apart and I'll reshim the diffs, because when I spin it like that, there's no cogging. When I spin it like that, I can just feel the cogging. SCX10 internals. Good. That's very good. That means it should be easy to shim that just to get it perfect. And it's one of those things, if you're building a kit especially, make sure you check the shimming of your diffs so that it's not cogging. You can get away with driving that, no doubt, but the longer you drive it, the worse it's going to get, and it's going to wreck something. So you pull it apart, shim the output shaft so it's sitting just perfectly, so you've got the right amount of contact, because as I hold this output shaft out and spin it, there's nothing. It's perfectly quiet. Ah, happy days. Yeah, that's all it is. So I'll be cracking both of those open, double, triple, mega, ultra checking, making sure they're Mickey Mouse, because my ultimate goal is, when Michael gets his truck back, he drives it and says, holy shit, that is smooth. That's the goal. Because if it's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. I love that box for the diffs. Genius. Show the rear one, we'll see what that feels like. Same thing. Same amount of movement. So they just want shimming. It'll most probably say in the book too, check the shims. Drive shaft will probably pull. That's true too, Robert. There's every chance. Like Robert's saying, once you put the drive shaft on, it may well pull this out enough. Had those diffs on another build, and they came with shims. Yep. So rest assured, Michael, I'll get that Mickey Mouse for you. Make sure it's all lovely. The rear diff, again, you can see a few machine lines on there, but there's only so much you can do. That's a good goal. Are you talking about the goal on the top of the stream, Mike? Or are you talking about my goal is to give him the truck as nice as possible so that... Well, this is the thing. It's like... My goal with anything in RC is to try and make as many people as happy as possible. I know stuff like the element stream's not going to do that. Okay, I know this. But sometimes that shit needs to happen. I try and do my best to make as many people as happy as possible all the time. With the trucks that were given away, I legitimately had sleepless nights thinking about how I can improve them. Up all night printing stuff, test fitting, rechanging it at 4 in the morning and printing it again, and just so that when you guys get those trucks, you say, this actually feels pretty damn good. If you want to see exactly what it felt like beforehand, you can change all the parts back to the factory ones, but ugh, what a waste of time. No, with the truck you're building. It's got to be perfect, man. Well, I mean, as good as I can get it. So, you can't have parts that are this nice and have it shit. You know, it doesn't matter how pretty your truck looks. If you drive it and it's just noisy, it takes away from how nice it looks, essentially. So there's the diffs, and they are purty. They're damn purty, mate. We can put the front one in the wrong way around. Case faces case. Love that box, it's pretty. Double, triple, extra Mickey Mouse, check the new standard. Yep. It's got to be bang on, man. Well, and this is the thing too. I can build this truck, and I can now design stuff for it and add it to the truck as well, so that it's not just the Bronco. I mean, obviously I'll run everything past Mick and make sure he's happy with it. But it's not just the Bronco that anyone can go and buy and build. It's Mick's Bronco that's got the custom dashboard, the custom... I don't even know if there's pedals for the floor, but if there's not, I'll make some. Exhaust pipes, fuel tank, whatever else that I can come up with. Custom grill. Make all that stuff that no one else's truck's got but his. Even the steering arm is just stunning. There's some bloody nice parts in this box. A couple of little brackets there. They're all stainless bolts by the look of it. Pro Racing, it says on the steering dragline. That link's not as pretty, but I mean, it is what it is. That's our main steering arm. Yeah, not as pretty as the other one, but I mean, you look at this thing. Yeah, nice polished dealy, Pro Racing logo on it. That's nice. I like that. Looking forward to this build, Michael. It's one of those things too. Look, as you unbox stuff, and the more you unbox, and the higher the quality of stuff you unbox, when you see how much love and attention they've given to it, you find that regardless of how you may have used to do things, you'll put more love into every little thing. There's a donation. Why didn't it pop up? Michael's dropped $20 and said, "Bring it on." All right, let me do something for you, Michael. Please vote. Pop up. Come on, man. I apologise, Michael. Alert box. Let me refresh your cache. Cache. Refresh. Okay. Go back in here. It'll probably pop up in 10 minutes and do it twice now. It did. Did it really pop up? Didn't make any noise my end. Sorry. I can't see it on my screen. But Michael, thank you very much, mate. You're a bloody champion. It's very much appreciated. I'm going to be pumped if we smash this goal. Because I've got one of the trucks. I know how bipping awesome they are. I know whoever wins it is going to sit it on their desk. They're going to go, oh, check it out, my new truck. And then they're going to open the box. And then, by the time they get halfway through pulling the amount of stuff out of the box, they're going to say, holy shit, look at the amount of stuff that comes with this truck. Like, let's smash this out of the park, because whoever wins it is just going to go bonkers. They are gorgeous. Right, what have we got left in here? Ooh. Bag E, which is in fact a box. What's in here? Something wrapped in. This stuff's packed really well. So nice to see. And this is just a plastic engine cover. And it's packed that well. Okay. I might see if I can design one of these too, Mike. Hey? See if we can't smash out our own custom design. We could do an old school V8 with an air cleaner sitting on top, depending on how much clearance we've got with the bonnet. But there's the motor cover. And like I say, this is plastic. It doesn't feel overly... No, it's not. It's fiberglass. Why? It could have just been plastic. This... As much as I love this idea, I think making it in fiberglass is just overcomplicating things. That should just be plastic. Because unless you take the body off, I don't believe you're going to see this anyway. I love that it's there, don't get me wrong. But I think doing it in fiberglass is just a bit of an overcomplication. Just saying. Ben's donated 5. I didn't hear it, man. Jesus. Did it pop up? Tell me, let me know if it popped up. Let me make sure I've got some volume going here so I can hear these things. Thank you very much, Ben. You're a bloody champion. Man. No idea why they use 5. It doesn't make sense to me either. Because the body I can sort of understand. I don't know what it costs to make a fiberglass body like that compared to what it would cost to have one injection molded. I don't know why that's a thing. That's why they cost so much. The packaging is great. Well, I mean, we all know this stuff's not expensive, but there's a lot of it. I mean, and then there's all the foam, the thick foam. That's obviously more expensive, but it shows these guys take a lot of pride in what they build because they want it to turn up to you in the best possible condition. Ben, it popped up on my screen. Awesome. That's awesome, dude. I just don't know why it's not popping up on mine. It's supposed to. Thank you, mate, for your donations. Very much appreciated. You're a bloody champion. What else have we got in here? This looks like the gearbox. We're getting into the nitty-gritty now. I see something I'm very surprised to see. I mean, technically it doesn't matter, but I'm surprised. I love unboxing stuff. Except for Enduros. Can you guys... Come on, camera. Just do your job, mate. Can you guys see what I see that I'm surprised to see? I mean, you look at this case. It is gorgeous, alright? Perfection. Absolutely brilliant quality. And then the elephant in the room comes in the form of a massive white plastic gear. Like, that is so out of place in this truck, it's not funny. I don't know. I mean, it'll make the truck quieter. I get that. but I'm really surprised. It's very smooth. Even the feel of the case is the feeling like you've just polished your car and you run your hands over it and you go, oh, it's so good. That's what all this metal, the diffs are the same. That's what it feels like. Only 2 pieces of plastic, that and the seats. I believe so. I can't recall coming across any other plastic so far. I'm just surprised, if that makes sense. It's a very simple setup. But I'm just surprised that it's plastic. I'm going to, right now, I'm going to undo 3 bolts, and this is just my own curiosity. That feels like it's Loctited, is it? Yep. You can see the bluish on there. It's good to see. Loctited, lovely. I just want to see if there's more plastic gears in here. Now, I've no doubt when Michael drives this truck, he's not going to go belting the piss out of it. He's going to take care of it because it is an expensive bit of kit. But so they're all metal, I believe. That's not Loctite, that's grease. So they're all metal gears in there. That may be marine grease even. Lovely. It's nice to see it's nicely greased too. That's good. Okay. Just the one plastic gear. The other 3 in there are all metal. Which is nice. That was for my benefit more than anything. It wasn't, oh, I'm doubtful, or oh, it'd be shit if there's plastic in there. It was just literally, I was curious. That is bloody gorgeous though. So there's that. Hour and 37 minutes. How's it taking this long to unbox a truck with so little parts in the box? I think it's just because I'm stuck. Look, that's just a simple tiny parts bag. I'm not going to stress too much on that. I will show the transfer though. Which, after looking in the back of the gearbox, seeing metal gears, I would assume this has metal gears as well. It's weight enough to have metal gears. That grease is very thick. It's hard to turn. So I may even pull that grease out and run my own grease in it. Because if there's a bit of load here, and there's a bit of load in the diffs, and there's a bit of load in that, it all adds up and goes back onto the motor and the plastic gear. But that feels very thick, very, very thick. Anyway, so this is our transfer, which is nothing short of bloody stunning again. These guys know how to make parts. It is very well made. The machining quality is brilliant, which is nice. It's nice to look at stuff. Like I say, I look at the fancy cross models with all their CNC stuff, and you look at this stuff, and it's like, it's so nice to have nicely machined stuff in your hands to look at and feel. I don't know what they coat this stuff with, but my word, it's smooth. It's not just plain machined and that's it. It's coated as well, but whatever they're coating it in with is really nice. Paint the body with it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to change the grease in that transfer because it's a little bit thick. Too much load. Too much load. No idea what the gear ratio is. No idea at all. I'm sure if one of you guys would like to Google that. I honestly haven't looked that deep into it. It was Mike contacted me and said, you might like to build this on the streams. I was like, that'd be awesome. And that gives you guys a chance to check it out, gives me a chance to check it out. Gives us a chance to do more streams and talk smack like we like to do. So this is, I guess, the second motor option. Real quick like, and then we'll get the last of the stuff out of the box, which is not much there. Yoink. Now, I've used these motors before, Snow Panther motor. They are a bit notchy. 45 turn. They do have plenty of torque though, and for what they cost, they're not a bad motor. So we're either going to go with this and the simple ESC. Is that a 1060? I think we talked about getting a 1080 or something at some stage, but that's all down to what Mike wants to do with the electrics. So it's either going to be simples, or the big axe, depending on what Michael wants to do. Right, next, let's grab the last of this stuff out. Okie dokes. So, one of the most important parts, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be keen to check out, is the shocks. And if they're 90mm and really nice, I might just put them on my Bronco. I'm joking. I still need 90mm shocks and links on my TFL Bronco so I can lower it. Okay, shocks are fully constructed. Let me wind that right up. The construction of the shock itself, it was delightful. Again, brilliant machining. They're dry, there's no oil in there, but they're probably stiffer than I'd personally like, but I mean, this is going to be a reasonably weighty truck, so I guess we'll wait and see. I won't adjust the shocks until the truck's finished, so we've got the full, I would do brushed with that gear. I said to Mike, if it was me, yeah, racing motor, 1080, put it in. That's just what I do. It's nice, smooth. You can slow crawl like a beast. Because it's got the weight, it'll push those nice tyres down and really perform, I reckon. Yorta's Fun Place. Hey guys, just joined. Thanks for joining us, mate. Much appreciated. Feel free to subscribe, hit the notification bell should you want to see more of these shambles that we call streams. So to give you a look at the shockers. Alright, you can see the quality's bloody delightful again. The spring tension, I'm having to push down reasonably hard to get that to fully compress. It's probably a touch hard for my likeness, but again, this is technically not my truck. This is Michael's, so I'll build it. I'll put them on. I'll see how it goes. I'll be 100% certain there's no oil in them because it just doesn't feel like there is. Let's see if I can crack one open. Bonus McDryas. I also just joined the crawler world, so looking to learn something. I'm not sure how much we'll learn here. No, look, with the BCRC community, mate, I'm sure we can help you out with any questions you have. All you got to do is ask. Don't be shy. I suggest you join Burden's Custom RC Builds group on Facebook, and then that way you can ask as many questions as you like, share pictures of your trucks, etc., and so on, and just have a great time. There you go. Yours Fun Place has subscribed, mate. Thanks for your subscription. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the contents and the streams and the running videos and all that sort of fun stuff. So yeah, I do like them. They're ridiculously smooth, considering there's no oil in them. I like the spring retainers too. Something I noticed today, I looked at the Element truck, not to bang on with that again. I looked at the Element truck and the spring retainers. They're horrible, and I'll show you why quickly. I won't get the other one out, but you notice on this spring retainer how it's got that extra lip there for the spring to sit on. Okay, spring sits on it. Well, the Element truck essentially has this side twice, so the spring can just sort of flop all over the place. Trash, mate. Do better. Just my opinion. Michael, I'll probably go with the brushed 1080 and the Air Racing Just Crawl. Let me know, because I'll add it to one of my orders if you like. there's something about, I know they're a bit too stiff, but they are very smooth. There's something really relaxing about just squeezing a smooth shock. Perhaps, Mike, we could look at, depending on what it's like when it's all finished, getting some FR4C springs using with these shocks, depending on if they're the same width. Because those springs in that one there, just... But I do like them. They're nicely made, which is important. Very good qualities. This whole thing so far has been brilliant. I guess the only thing that sort of hasn't been as good as the rest is the body. And Michael sort of picked up on that and said, oh, they're a bit funny with the body, but that's why he bought the other one. So if my plan doesn't work with that, we've got a backup, guys. Don't worry. Links. I'll grab a couple of these out. I'll grab one of them out. They're all basically... They all damn near look exactly the same length too. They're close. I'll grab one out. Once you've seen one link, you've seen them all. Bit of dust. Thought it was dirt and stuff, but it was just a bit of dust. So these are our links. Alright. It's nice to have the brand name on there. I like that myself. Feel free to focus camera. Do your job, mate. What are you doing? And each link is marked with the measurement on there, which I like. That way you won't stuff it up. They're nice. They're nicely finished. Even the link ends have got TFL on them, which I like. The company's proud of what they make. They're not just some generic ball end from whereversville. So I like that too. And they're already put together, which I like even more. I hate putting links together. It's shit. Skid plate. You're going to laugh at... Michael, how deep did you dive into this box? Out of curiosity. And I ask because... You remember how you bought those... tiny little hooks? The toe hooks? There's already some in the kit. There's actually 4 of them. There's 4 of them in the kit. So there's that. It's also got a toe hook, which I like, or toe ball. That's good. I like that. So there's a toe ball in there, and there is some spaces in there, which I would assume they're for the top of the shocks. So that's what that is. Bag of stainless bolts. Okay, you've seen one, you've seen them all. The skid. Very SCX10-ish. Very SCX10-ish. It's probably the same as an SCX10 skid. Not much. I tried to leave it for you. Did you know those little hooks were in there? So here's our skid. Again, I mean, you can see the finish on this stuff's just bloody phenomenal. That looks identical to an SCX10 skid to me. And this is just curiosity for myself. It is exactly the same as an SCX10 skid. At least you have spares. Exactly. It is legitimately exactly the same. So if you ever decided you want to change the transmission, or you want to, you change bits and pieces, well, it's pretty easily done because an SCX10 transmission will bolt straight up to this. That is bloody nice though. What are you going to do, Michael, when you scratch this for the first time? You're going to have to bring out some tissues for the first scratch on this truck. I've got a feeling you're going to baby it a lot, because there's a lot of pretty pieces on this truck. Don't forget to like the stream. Exactly. You got to like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to donate towards our, let me mainstream it, our latest goal, so we can give away a Cross RC SU4C, which is the Bomb Diggity. I am very, very impressed with, our seats. Okay, lovely. Seats. I will cry. I'll bring some tissue. I have to go out with you when you first wheel this truck. Have to. I want to take pictures and videos and Okay, so our seats, if I'm correct, they look a lot like your racing seats. No, they're not your racing. There's another brand that make these seats. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're plastic seats. Close up cam. So here's the seats we got. We could possibly do something with a little bit of colour coding on the little padded edges around here. But generally speaking, with this seat, it'll just be leave it as it is. She'll only come out on Sundays or when you drive it. I don't know if you want me driving it. I don't want to put the first scratch on it. Not if I nail that paint job. But there's the seats. I mean, it's nice that they're included. They do fit together very well. 2 of those. And there's also the battery strap in there too, which I'm not going to worry about pulling out because it's just a Velcro strap. Next. And I think the last piece, it is the last piece. And I'm going to go and have some lunch because I'm hungry. The drive shafts. So, first one is the prettiest one. Check that bad boy out, if you'd like to focus for me. Let's trick the camera. Oh, I tricked it the wrong way. With that bad boy. You can, I mean, even on this, you can see the quality, the way it reflects the light, etc. and so on. TFL clearly knows how to make parts. I'll give them credit on that. The machining quality from what I've seen is stunning. Brilliant. Mole crawler. He's got to drive it on the rocks. Just don't hit all the nasty ones. Where else do I get decent cheap parts from, bloke? SCX10 deadbolt. Most of the stuff I actually order for myself I get from RC Mart, if I'm honest. Generally speaking, I'll over say a month or two is fill up my cart, smash an order away, and then just wait. Generally speaking, it takes about 7 to 10 days for an order to turn up. So that's where I get most of my stuff from. I know there's places like I think 110 Crawlers, OzRC. Mr. Robert Golan, who's with us, may be able to dump a few more names. I've generally found that most Australian places lack in the sort of stuff that people want. They may have a few factory aftermarket, a few factory spares and limited aftermarket parts. So generally speaking, I get mine from RC Mart because it's just, they've got everything I could possibly need. David Foster's joined us. Hello, David. So there's that, and then there's the drive shafts. I won't remember pulling these out because they're pretty hard to see much of. They're just black drive shafts. Metal, of course. There's no way a truck like this is going to have plastic. I will, however, put, depending on how tight the little ring is, actually I'll show you guys this. And this is a bit of one of those top tips for free. If I'm honest, this is probably, we're already close up. This is probably the poorest machine quality stuff in the whole kit. It's not terrible, but it's not brilliant either. I don't know how well you'll see this. Compared to the rest of the truck, this looks probably worse than it is, if that makes sense. Because the rest of the truck is so spot on. When you look at something like this, you go, oh geez, that looks shit. This compared to a normal one, like a normal drive shaft, you'd probably say, oh, you know, it's okay, it's a bit below par. But this compared to the rest of this truck is, it almost looks like an afterthought, if that makes sense. If it were my truck, Michael, I'd probably look at getting something that matches the rest of the truck, because this just, I mean, these might be fine. If you want to run these, that's cool. But when you look at even, where was it? Where did I put it? When you look at this shaft, which is perfect, pretty, oh nice, and then you look at this one, and like I say, you can see, focus, You can see sort of the imperfections and stuff on it, like halfway down the shaft there, that actually gets caught on there. And I guess I'm a little surprised. I'm not pissed off or disappointed with the kit in any way, shape or form, because it's 99.95% brilliant. Okay, from what I've seen. These just don't make sense. Bob Patterson's dropped $15. Thank you, Bob. Andrew's dropped $25. Says, shut up and take my money. Why didn't I hear Andrew's? There we go. Sorry, Andrew's went off first. You blokes are champions. I think I might have some spares. If you dude, run these. I'll get rid of the little burrs and stuff. If you want to run these, that's cool. It's just like I say, compared to the rest of the truck, this is just like a... Oh shit, we need drive shafts. Put those in. And I'm sure, when I see you next, Michael, I'll show you. You'll look at these and go, okay, they are actually TFL drive shafts. They just look really... They borderline look old. Fucking... Yeah, there's actually a logo there. Like, you guys can't even see the logo properly. There's a logo there and... mainstream, and on the other end 100 to 140, but you can't see it. Weird. So they're the drive shafts anyway. I'm sure they'll be plenty strong enough. I'm sure of it. But the quality of these drive shafts is rather lacking compared to the rest of the kit. To be fair, these have a lot to stand up to compared to the rest of it. So there's those, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, that's the entirety of the kit. Yes, it is. So, one TFL Bronco. Overall opinion on the kit. Besides the body being fiberglass when it should have been injection molded plastic, and the engine cover being fiberglass when that should have been plastic too, which is just sort of weird. And the drive shafts being below average compared to the rest of the stuff. It's a really nice kit. Michael, can I ask you what this cost you? Just so I can drop my personal opinion on whether I think it's worth that much money. If you don't mind. We've unboxed the TFL Bronco, Dave. This is Michael's truck. Michael's near me, lives near me. And has asked if I'd like to build a truck for him. We can build it on the streams. So, I'm pumped. We're building the truck for Michael. We've unboxed it all now. Overall quality of the kit is well above average for 95% of it. Okay? I'm surprised with the body because it's fiberglass and it doesn't make much sense. It almost looks... It's like... Let's make it fiberglass because no one else does. I don't get that. I'd love to... I might message TFL and see if I can find out why they made it a fiberglass. Just for my own curiosity's sake. So, the Bronco, full cage chassis. Okay? Brilliant bit of work. The chassis doesn't look near as pretty as all the other bits, obviously, but I mean it's a bar chassis, and it's just sort of that's what it is. Got a bit of a discount, $800. Normally they go for $900 plus. Okay, so the wheels and tires and the shocks and the diffs. The diffs are really, really, really nice. $800. Mike, I can get the body and cage for around 150. Just those. 150 US dollars? Offer 120. Yeah, so yeah, 120, Mike. If that's just my opinion, and I guess it comes down to, and I'll explain myself because I'm sure someone out there's going to disagree with me. Stuff like the grill in these trucks, okay? Now, Mike said to me when he dropped this off, the grill's apparently really shitty. The factory grill on these trucks is it's a bit of a letdown when you've got a truck that's as nice as this is. The factory grill's just moulded into this. Now Michael's ordered off the interwebs, I'll hold this the correct way this time, a 3D printed grill, which is better, but I think I can do better than this. So I'm going to be cocky smartass and design my own grill for this truck. I'm going to give it some angry eyes. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not, because I'm going to use the factory light surrounds, which are gorgeous. So I'm going to design my own grill and see if I can make it better than this one. If I can't, we'll use this one. That's fine. The wheels alone would be $100. I don't know if they'd be $100. Oh, they might be. TFL's not cheap. But yeah, Mike, look, honestly, $120 max. Maximum. Because I know you've got a 3D printer as well, and I know you'll probably reprint your own dash. Shit, I could even do my own floor, my own seat mounts that are... My mind's just going off now. But the floor is a very simple floor pan. It's literally 4 bolts that hold that down. Which means I could make my own floor pan with a console that opens, with drink holders on the other side. Well, I'm going to make right-hand drive dashboard for this truck, just for those wondering, because there's a lot of options you could do with this truck if you've got a 3D printer and a little bit of time. And I can already see things I want to do with it. The more I look at it, the more my brain goes, what an awesome idea. We can do this and do this and do this. It does come with the dashboard and stuff in it, but it's very basic. It leaves a lot of scale options on the table. I may even, Mike, look at a micro servo mount on the back of the dashboard that I design, so that you can hook one of those up, or if you wanted to get one of the Racing moving steering wheels, order one of those and I'll design a dash so that fits into it. But yeah, it's the body's a little bit of a letdown on the kit, which, like I say, Michael already knew about anyway. And the drive shafts. And other than that, it's pretty hard to fault. Oh, the motor cover. The motor cover's fiberglass, which just doesn't make a lick of sense. It's like more effort than it needs for nothing. For those that missed the wheels, I'll show these off again before we call it a day, because these are just... And this is why originally we were going to rust this truck and I was going to apocalyptic dearly with it. And then I was going to do up another body with show wheels. I have to show these, so if you want to have a bit of a laugh at Michael, now's your chance. Look at these bad boys he was going to put on it. Hey? For $800, you got a good deal. Because there are a lot of expensive parts on this truck. These are the factory wheels and tyres, and they're too pretty. As soon as I seen these, Michael, I said I can't rust them, because they are gorgeous wheels. The machining quality is absolutely brilliant. It's too nice to rust it up. It's funny, you see so many people rust up some of these RCs that cost just stupid money. Now I know I rusted this is a bad example. I know I rusted the BC8, but the BC8 didn't have wheels like this. The BC8 had black beadlocks and the plastic body. So it's easily changeable to something else, or I didn't even rust the beadlocks. I rusted the covers that screw on there. These are the machine quality that's in these wheels is too nice to rust. The tyres feel brilliant. I did say that. God, what the hell, dude? I will say, and I said this earlier, the quality of these wheels is nothing to be laughed at, because when my camera focuses and I can hold this properly, the quality of these wheels is bloody good. has to be said, bloody good. These tyres that are on there, legit feel better than these ones. I mean, these are really nice, but these feel, they're going to stick. Okay? Let's just hide those for now. It's a nice kit. From what I'm looking at quality wise, can recommend. You will have to shim your diffs because, I mean, even these ones, they were notchy, so I'll have to crack those open and shim them. But I recommend you do that with all kits anyway. It's going to be a fun build. I think we're going to call it Strawberry Shortcake. If you're happy with that name, Michael. We're going to be doing a candy red across the top. And we're going to do a warm white along the bottom. I'm going to design my own grill for it. My own grill for it. Possibly my own full interior. Because as nice as it is to have it turn up with a floor and the console and the dashboard, well, Michael would prefer right-hand drive anyway, so I can tick that box while we're there. I can make it a bit deeper, so when you get a photo on that sort of angle, it doesn't look like it's just a black wall straight away there. But it's a nice kit. It's packaged really well. I love the packaging. Brilliant. It's nice to see a company take pride in their stuff. I mean, it's like Cross. They bag and bag and bag and bag and bag everything. Everything's bagged in its own bag. This stuff, the majority of it is the same. There's bubble wrap and foam. The whole box is lined with foam, which is brilliant. These guys give a shit about what they make. And these things, love it. Strawberry Shortcake. See if you can get a little decal made up. Strawberry Shortcake. You've got to have names or stories for your trucks, man. I think. Strawberry Shortcake. It's delicious. So there she is, boys and girls. What did you think about that? I've got some GPM drive shaft, but not sure they are better. The straightforward with the drive shafts is, generally speaking, if they're metal and your little pin retainer is, what axles does it use? And your pin retainer is heat shrunk, should it need be, because not all of them do need to be. Most drive shafts are going to be just fine. Okay? Unless you go sticking a big wanky system in it and you floor it everywhere, that's the only time you're really going to need something that's super stupid strong. I will show this part again because this was quite good. Okay? This is how much pride this company takes in what it makes. So we close up it again. So this is the box that the axles come in. You slide out the middle piece and you have that. Okay? Now, to ensure that these axles don't move anywhere during transit, there is cardboard sliders either side that are lockers that lock the diffs into this carrier. And even when they get put in here, right, you slide the diff in and then you turn it so the link mounts grab the cardboard. It's brilliant. They have got massive pumpkins though. I will say that. I thought the pumpkins on my PG4 would be... Camera, what are you doing? There, thank you. Okay, massive pumpkins. Look at them. They're huge. And a must is, as we've found out already, we're going to have to shim. It's so hard to grab this sort of stuff and show you. The input shaft here is actually moving about 5 millimeters. So when it's right in and you turn it, it's actually coggy. So I have to shim the diffs. I don't know if there's any grease in them, so I'll check that too. I would imagine there is, given there was grease in the transfer. Just the grease in the transfer is ridiculously thick, so I'm going to change that out for the grease I use, so it's a bit smoother, a bit less. Look, it's gorgeous stuff, absolutely gorgeous. There's not many things in this kit you can fault. Like I say, it'd be nice if the body was plastic, just for ease of putting it together and to give a lot more people the confidence to build this kit. I fear that there's probably a lot of people out there that go fiberglass body, screw that. So it's nice. It's very nice. It's just, if you do stuff the right way, people are going to buy your stuff. I mean, if people see that you give a shit about what you make, they're going to be more inclined to buy your stuff. So, but overall, really nice kit. Looking forward to building it. Looking forward to making my own custom parts for it. I'd recommend it if you've got the money. I know they're not cheap. I'd recommend it as long as you were comfortable doing what's needed with the body to make it work. I'm praying that what I want to do with the body works. I know fiberglass can be a bit of a bitch, so I'm essentially going to give it a really light sand back, Tamiya prime it, run some water over it, make sure the lines are all as good as I can get it, and then ever so lightly I'm just going to dust that paint on, just ever so lightly. I was going to paint the whole thing white and then do the red over the top, but then I think it'll make the red too light. So I will mask roughly where the line's going to be. I'll paint the red, and then I'll let that cure, harden properly, mask where I want the white to go, and ever so slightly just overlap the red, so that when I paint that, I've got the perfect sort of join. I think we'll be sweet. So yes, any questions before we're 2 hours and 12 minutes. It went a lot longer than I expected to unbox a truck that hasn't got that many parts really. Any questions? I find it funny that you still use the same, that we both use the same grease. Yes, I use King Chrome multi-purpose grease, and it's brilliant. It's about 16 Australian dollars for a... How big's the tub? This is the stuff I use. That's what I'll be using in the... That's what I'll be using in the truck, because I run it in all my trucks, and it's brilliant. $16 for 500 grams. I don't know how many trucks I've done with that container of grease, but it's still about half full. Alright, well, it appears there's no questions. Ugh. I'm going to go have some lunch, because this whole thing went a lot longer than I expected it to. Tamiya ceramic grease for life. Tamiya ceramic grease isn't horrible, if I'm honest. It's not bad. But that stuff's better. Alright, well, I think that's going to do us for today. Like we've said before, you've got to give it a like. Give it a share. Let's pump up the views of these streams. If you wish to donate so we can smash this awesome goal here, so that we can get the SU4C to do the giveaway with, that'd be epic. Yeah, like, share, subscribe. Check out my Instagram if you like, AussieRC on Instagram, all one word. Stuff and things. Join Burton's Custom RC Builds group on Facebook, should you want to keep up to date with the competition details, etc. and so on. This week we will be doing the numbers for the... It's too far away. I'll grab it later. I've no idea what's for lunch yet. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Let me see, before we go, let me see if I can do a sneaky and pinch one of my items off the printer while it's still printing. guys. Okay, so this is the first print of the BCRC Beatmaster radio. Now, I wasn't sure how well this would work. I've printed it twice, 2 different ways. Let me just get this excess crap off here, and then I'll show you guys and you let me know what you think. You've got to be careful because this handle is somewhat fragile, I imagine. It's only small 3D printing stuff. I get excited about this stuff and it's like, I better show the guys. Alright, just trim off some of the excess fat. Ever so carefully, especially on this aerial piece, antenna. I broke it. Broke the antenna, that's fine. Honestly, I'm sure I could find something better to use for the antenna, but I'm not even typing in the chat, man. Where's my mouse at? This is killing my back. There. Search for that on Facebook. Oh, my back. Search for that on Facebook and you'll see what I'm... You'll join the group. Okay, let's just ignore the fact that I broke the antenna off. I'll snip the last little piece of it off. Other than that, though... Quite like that. The BCRC Beatmaster. Now I'm going to have to play with my settings because the lines are a bit prominent and I don't like that. But this is the BCRC Beatmaster twin cassette deck radio with equalizer. What do you think of that? I'm sure I could use a little bit of finesse. I'll play with the printer settings to... Ooh! Okay, so before we go, we're going to check some other things out here. So there's one I printed. This is one I printed laying down. So I wanted to see if it was better off printing this way. It didn't do the antenna at all. And the face has got worse detail. Oh yeah, heaps worse. So no more printing those laying down. That looks shit. Let's see if this is any good. Now I'm sure there's some settings I can change to stop this spider webbing so much. I just need to suss out exactly what they are. These are the little car ramps I designed last night. They definitely look like car ramps, so that's something. Should probably have safety glasses on doing this, but you know, yellow. Just get all the little extra daggies out of here. A bit of separation there, that wasn't great. Oh, that's the top layer, I see. So I can possibly change my design to make it print easier. I had one of those when I was a kid. I like the ramps, they're cool. Well, once I get it... And this is why I print all this stuff as many times as I can, which is frustrating because it takes forever. I print these things as many times as I can to get the quality as good as I can, so that then if I upload it to like Shapeways, I know that you guys can print it out, or get them to print it and send it or whatever, and I don't have to stress about the quality. Right, won't be a minute. I know this is painful to watch, I'm sure, but this is the sort of stuff I've had to do, like on the Element trucks, getting those up to scratch. You print one thing out, you clean it all off and make sure it fits, and if it doesn't, okay, what do I need to change? And then you do it all again 50 bloody times. Okay, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So it's still rough, but there's a car ramp. Good. Question is, it's a bit small. Now I look at it, it looks very small. Okay, make it bigger. Okay, so have we got bets on if it's going to break or not? Because it looks tiny on that. If I use this, I haven't let go of the weight yet. If I use those ramps with something like my little express car, they'll be perfect. There you go. So there they are. They work. They're just... I need to make them bigger. I need to scale them up. Very uplifting. Bloody oath, Bob. There's always one, mate. There's always one. King of the dad jokes. Alright. Quickly try and peel this one out. Just so I can sit the other side up. There you go. It works. It's jacked up. Hey, when I'm old enough to be several folks' dad and here at 60, you're just a big kid, Bob. Just a big kid, mate. So there you go. The ramps work. They're a little small, so I will scale those up. I can't make them too huge, otherwise, and this is the problem with these trucks. Your truck looks too big for everything or too small for stuff. Check that radio out. Love that. Come on, camera. You got one job. There's my little cassette player. Quite like that. It come up really well. Surprised the handle printed better than I expected. The antenna broke off, but that's fine. I can get over that. Quite nice. Everyone's... Oh, Camo's with us, mate. I didn't see you here. You're really 49, Michael. I wouldn't have thought you were that old. So that's a compliment. Yours 34. I'm 35. I mean, I'm wondering. Genesis 54. Camo's 43. Bob, I was 18 when my son was born. And Michael says he's 49. I wouldn't have thought Michael was 49. No. Pumped. Oh. Alright, so enough of the stuffing around now. My ramps work. I just need to upscale them. And if I'm going to upscale them a bit, I'll make them a bit thicker. But they do work, so that's something. And they look like car ramps. I used to have to watch my feet with these, right? When you're a young bloke, you had to put your foot here, right on the end, while your old man drove the bloody vehicle up on top of it. And you always sort of stood off to the side, just in case. Bend up some wire like a coat hanger. Solder. The coat hanger would be too thick. I don't know why this is so unraveled. But, top tip, solder is actually brilliant for lots of things. So you can get yourself a piece of solder like this, and you can bend some sort of stupid shape out of it so that it like comes back on itself. Then, provided I've got some here, Then you can grab your radio and you can get a dab of your glue. Make sure the end of that's open. Yes. And you can put ever such the tiniest little bit. And then glue that to your thingy. Now, if you're really clever, you'd make like a love heart shape or something out of the bloody wire, or the shape of Australia. But you can do something like that just to make some sort of homemade aerial that you've stuffed in the radio. Do full truck length ramps? No. 1, take far too long to print. 2, if it was on Shapeways, it'd cost as much as the truck. It's just... You're not going to have ramps like this the full length of your truck if you can help it. These are the cheap ramps for someone that wants to do an oil change at home. I'm just going to size them up a bit, I think, and we'll be laughing. And maybe print them in 3 pieces. No. I've got to figure the best way of printing them. I might have to make my own. Actually, if I put bars across here, that may make them better as well. Because, yeah, that'll work. Oh, my back. Alright. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining, for watching. Give it a like, give it a share if you'd like to donate. There's a link in the description. We can smash this goal and give away a truck. Stay tuned to the Facebook group, because later this week we're going to do the first list for the first Enduro. We're going to give that away, and then, all going to plan, early next week we'll start the second list for the second one. We'll give that away too. Good thanks. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to have some lunch. You guys have been awesome. Take care and have fun with your RCs. We'll see you on the next one.